Hi, and thank you for joining me for today's process video. And today I'm doing a sketch, but it's not from 30 Days of Sketches. This is a sketch from Hey Little Magpie Chat and Inspiration. Each month, one of the creative team over there post a challenge, and this month Jackie chose to post a sketch, so you can see it in the top left hand corner there. And I'm documenting a picture of my son James when we were in Lapland back in 2019. So to start with, I just wanted to create a base on my page where Jackie's got splatters on the white background. I wanted to use some mixed media, so I started with Stormy Skies and my large brayer, and quickly realised that I hadn't actually cleaned the brayer the last time I used it, so a little bit of green has come into the blue, but that's absolutely fine. We've got trees in the background, and sometimes having multicolours does actually improve the look of things. So I'm using that same ink now, Stormy Skies, to use the Katie Perteet Maker's Marks stamp from Arden Creative Studio, just to add some stamping to the background. And then I came in with Weathered Wood once I'd used that Stormy Skies. So now I'm just adding a little bit of water just to blend that out a little bit. It was really quite dark with that Stormy Skies, and I was a bit concerned it was too dark. Now, oxide inks do dry a little bit lighter when they dry, but I was a bit concerned. So I decided to come in with some texture paste. Now, this is the Vicky Boutin one, which isn't available anymore, and it's nearly dried out, and you can see there's barely any left in the pot. So I'm just having to try and manipulate it and smooth it out in the hope that it will show through the stencil. This is just one of the Vicky Boutin stencils from a previous Christmas collection, and it has snowflakes on, so I thought it would be perfect for this photo. So do let me know if you use texture paste, which brand do you use, because I definitely want to get some more, and now I can't get this Vicky Boutin one. I'm wondering where I should go. So let me know in the comments below, please. So just trying to blend to get a couple of those snowflake shapes on the background, and also white out those stamped images a little bit. And when that's done, I decide I'm going to come in with some white acrylic paint and blend that through the stencil. So I've just grabbed a new blending brush, and here's my white, it's just cheap white acrylic paint, and I'm just going to use that brush to blend it through. Now it does smear a little bit because it's quite watery, it does smear a little bit underneath the stencil, but that's absolutely fine by me. I'm just looking for some little snowflake accents, and once everything's added to the background, you barely notice it anyway, but it does just white out those inked images a little bit more. So now that's done, I'm just going to come in with my paintbrush and add some splatters of the white acrylic paint all over the... I'm focusing on the middle of the page because I know I'm going to have strips of paper on the left and right, but just getting those splatters all over that page, and then I'm going to have to leave it to one side for quite a while actually to dry. So in the meantime, I just pull in another 12 by 12 paper so I can work on building my background. And the papers I'm using today are just from my box of Christmas and winter stash. I keep Christmas and winter together because a lot of Christmas collections have snowflakes and things on, which works well for my winter pages, so they're all kept together in one box. So I'm just focusing on the blues today with a little bit of craft and a tiny bit of pink pulled in just because of the colour of James's rosy cheeks there. And I'm building up these strips that Jackie has on the left and right of this sketch. I absolutely adore this sketch. It's definitely a design that I would use again and again. So very happy to be doing this month, and you've got until the end of June to enter. Just add your layout into the album that Jackie's created on Hey Little Magpie Chat and Inspiration on Facebook, and you're in with a chance of winning 1,000 Magpie points, which are worth £10 to spend in the shop. It doesn't matter if you're international, we do ship internationally, or if you want a virtual product, we have lots of classes and cut files and printables, so you will still get to use that without having to spend the postage, which can be quite expensive. So I'm just using this paper to map my photo onto. At some point in the past, I had fussy cut some of these flowers, and I'm going to use those as my embellishments today, so I thought it would be nice to use this to map the photo, to tie everything together, and also because it's got that lovely black, which just makes the photo stand out that little bit more. So I'm going to distress all the edges of all of these pieces before sticking them together, all the time waiting not very patiently for that background to dry. It had some really big dollops of the acrylic paint, and it really did take quite a long time for that to dry, but it was worth the wait. So here are all the edges distressed, and now I'm just going to build up my blocks so that I can add them to the background once it is finally dry. So you can see I've got that craft and that pink that I've pulled in just from the colours in the photo, and I'm really happy with the colours that I've used. Apologies for the craft cardstock, by the way, as the background at this point. I didn't have a white to hand at my desk, so I was just using what I had. So just gluing that second block down, and there we go. Finally, the background is dry, so I can start gluing all of these down. So I'm just going to step it in a little bit from the left-hand edge, and then this one, I do need to have that craft strip parallel with the photo, so I just pull it up to bring it down the page a little bit so that it is parallel with that photo. And that looks much better. So moving this over to the left, I wanted a bit more of a gap in between the two strips, forgetting that I wanted to add a border to the left-hand side, but you'll see how I solve that. So this strip that I've got there, Winter Wonderland, along with those florals, are the ones that I mentioned that I've fussy cut before. And to combat the fact that I've added that paper a little bit far to the left, I'm adding my lace, which is going to act as my scallop border along the actual navy blue paper, and that works better anyway because you see it more. If it had been put on the white card, it would have been a lot more subtle. So I'm just gluing this down with my Nouveau Deluxe adhesive. Off camera at the end, I do go in and stitch cross stitches all the way along that straight edge to hold this lace in place, and then I add some stitches to the right hand block as well, just to tie all that together. So I add 2 long stitches to the pink paper and then 3 little cross stitches holding that craft paper down. You'll see that in the close-ups at the very end. So I'm just going to glue these florals down, and I'm going to curl up the edges just to create a little bit of definition. And then I'm going to go back into my winter stash and see what else I've got to add to the page. So there's that, and then that Winter Wonderland is just a phrase that's been cut from a pattern paper. It was a crepe paper from a while ago, and I'm just going to mount that onto foam pads just to give it some dimension and also raise it up above that texture that I've created on those florals. So I'm using my 25mm Sticks 2 foam pads, and I'm just trimming short strips just to add to that background, so 3 works really nicely, and then I can get that phrase stuck down. And I will bring in my T-square ruler to check that I've got it straight. I have a habit of sticking things slightly on the wonk, so just pulling the backing off, and then I can keep going. So here's that T-square ruler just to check that it is straight, and look, I was off, so just as well I brought that in. So these are some very old Pink Fresh Studio stickers. They're like an acrylic piece with adhesive on the back. So this one says Magic, and I think that's going to work really nicely as an accent underneath that Winter Wonderland title. And then I'm bringing in some of the little sprinkly bits that are on there. They're just 4 pointed stars, and just dotting those around the page. They're in various tones of blue, so they work really nicely. And because they're semi-transparent, I really like the look of them on that background. Then another Pink Paisley sticker sheet, and Pink Fresh Studio, isn't it? Not Pink Paisley. I don't know why I said Pink Paisley. And just bring in a couple of those puffy stickers in, a snowflake at the top and a little star, and then into the Vicky Boutin puffy stickers, and there's another gold snowflake. Definitely going for the snowflakes today. A black one at the top there, because I've got the black in the paper and in that title, I just wanted to bring the black in a little bit more. And then these are some more Vicky Boutin chipboard pieces, and once again they've got some lovely little dotty snowflakes which work really nicely, and all with different dimensions as well, so it's great to add all this different texture and dimension on the page. So I decided I definitely need some glue on that blue one. It's not behaving very well. These are quite old, so the adhesive does start to fail. Probably should have cut this out, sorry. I just realised. Just going around gluing everything down. And then adding one last chipboard piece. And then I pulled out this lovely wood arrow from JD 3D Print. I thought I just wanted something else underneath that title there. So that points towards the word magic. And then these are, again, Vicky Boutin stickers. And I've just found a lovely craft tab to add at the top so I can add my date. And then there are a few more snowflake pieces and one little circle sticker that says "So Fun." So I will add a link to Hey Little Magpie Chat and Inspiration in the description box. So do come and join us, join in the fun. Different challenges every month. They're not just sketches. The girls come up with some amazing challenges. So it is fun. And like I say, a chance to win some magpie points, which you can use to spend in the shop. So a few more little snowflakey bits here. I'm focusing in on the bluey green snowflakes and the black snowflakes. And then just a tiny bit of journaling underneath the photo there. And that's it. Thank you so much for joining me. I do hope I've provided you with some inspiration, and I shall see you again soon. Bye.